excellent stuff. And you got to have the willingness to, okay, take a step back. Maybe the customer thinks you're wrong and maybe you think you're right. But at the end of the day, we are in positions where the customer's right. Right. The customer's always right. Maybe he heard you wrong, or maybe he had a bad interaction. He was on hold for 10 minutes, right? Take a breath, de-escalate, and remember what the main objective is, to make sure that we keep the customer so they buy again, right? Organizations need loyal customers to continue to grow. So thank you, Ms. Bev. That was perfect. All right, let's take a look. All right, so the first part of LAER is listen. Now, me and Ms. Bev have gone through this training. We've trained individuals on this stuff quite a few times.
Yeah.
When you see LAER and you think of listen, Ms. Bev, what comes to mind when you think of the listen part of LAER?
It's very important. You need to be attentive because you need to know how to, when it's your turn to speak, how you're going to react. You want to let that person know that you heard them. So a recap is really good. I want to make sure I'll repeat back to them. Okay, so you're looking for whatever the case may be. So they know, yes, she's listening to me.
Absolutely. You cannot repeat back what you don't hear, right? So you got to listen. It's really, really important. And the great thing about it, and I've worked with Ms. Bev so many times on this, I've never spoken to Ms. Bev and been conveying a message where she wasn't like, yes, I got you. Because that lets me know, even if we're not looking at each other on a video call, that she's listening. And then it makes me feel important as the conveyor of the message. And I would do the same thing for her. You saw as she was speaking, I'm shaking my head because I'm listening, I'm paying attention. It's really important and LAER that you pay attention, because in the next steps, you got to show people respect, you got to repeat it back, and then you got to come up with a solution. So that's really, really important. So you can't come up to a solution if you don't listen to what the problem is. Okay. The next part of LAER is to acknowledge, right? When I think of acknowledge, I think of I understand, right? So I'm listening to you. I understand what the issue is. I'm trying my best to figure things out. And the great thing about LAER is you really get a chance to kind of repeat it back. And I listen to you. I'm going to say it again to you. And it gives me a chance to kind of process what my response is going to be. Because you don't want to have someone that gives you, they give you a problem. You listen to them. You don't repeat it back, and then you answer the wrong problem, right? You want to make sure that everything that you do makes sense, because at the end of the day, if you're distracted and you got other things going on, the customer is not distracted. They got a laser vision. They probably stood on hold. They probably got through a call tree, and now they're on with you. You got to put them in the center of the universe. So you need to listen and then acknowledge whatever their issue is. And from there, we go into explore. So Ms. Bev, with explore, when you've done LAER, and we've done this multiple times, what does explore mean to you in the LAER process?
So explore, you know, you want to try to help them in whatever way you can. You want to determine what do they need. Is there an obstacle? Maybe ask them some questions about you know, if they say they don't have time for something, you know, ask them about, you know, what is your schedule like? Or you know, I certainly understand. You know, we can help you. You can do this after hours, beginning of the day. But you want to engage them and explore and ask them questions, because you're not going to be able to help them resolve and try to get them or get that sale unless you know what those issues are. So help them along. Some people you got to prod them a little bit. You got to ask them some questions, and sometimes they might just give you a no or something. So ask to find out.
So let me ask you this: and that's beautiful answer, Ms. Bev. When you ask a question, what type of question do you ask, Ms. Bev? What type of question is going to get you the response that you want to aim for?
See, an open-ended question. If you ask them closed-ended is just yes or no, and that doesn't get you anywhere. So something that they can't say yes or no to. Tell me. Start out with tell me. uh, what are your thoughts about this? Anything that they have to make a statement.
Beautiful. That is beautiful. And it goes twofold, right? Because number one, is giving me time to think, right? And then I'm putting a little bit of the onus of the conversation on you because I'm saying, hey, so tell me a little bit about how long that's been going on. So tell me a little bit more, right? And it's giving me a chance to process this information, and I can come back with something that's intelligent, is well thought, and then I'll be able to increase the likelihood of you sticking with our organization. So that's beautiful. And then last, we want to respond, right? So once we've gathered all the information, I hear what the issue is, I acknowledge the issue, I'm exploring different options, or if I need to ask additional questions, I'll finally come to the conclusion where I'm ready to interact and give you my solution. So my response to you is going to be a solution to the issue. This is what I'll do. This is what I can do. If I'm selling widgets and you got a bad widget, and you're like, hey, I just want to send it back and get a refund, I want you to, number one, send it back, but I want you to also take another one, right? The widget may come with a software, right? Maybe we're selling the widgets, but our revenue is really low off the widgets, but we make our money off of the software and the support, right? So if you just send it back and you don't keep the software and support, then we don't get anything. But if I send you one and I take 10% off of your software and support, at least we didn't lose you, right? So just
Mm-hmm.
thinking on understanding your product, understanding your customer is really, really important. So my response, okay? So good stuff, Miss Bev. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the way to get started is to quit talking and start doing. So me and
There
the
you go.
wonderful, 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 talented Miss Bev, and I mean that from the heart. I worked in leadership with Miss Bev. I've actually worked with Bev as a peer for a long time, and she is the real deal. So this is an honor to be able to go through this. Now we'll try to go through one scenario. We'll try to go through two, but we'll definitely get through one. And let's go into, let's see. All right, so let's do keeping the customer with the company, LAER, and I want to be able to show some empathy. So me and Miss Bev have not practiced. This is how talented Miss Bev is. We have not practiced this at all, right? But we're going to go through a call scenario. I'm going to be Jonathan with National Integrated Services, and Miss Bev is calling in, and you just tell me whatever you're calling in about, and I'm going to try to address the objection. Now, again, this is Miss Bev. Have we practiced?
Nope, not
No,
at
we
all.
have not. So we're gonna go through this, and we're gonna get through this call, and we're gonna do our best with it. And again, we're just role playing, and we're layered. So listen, acknowledge, explore, and respond. So I'm gonna listen to what Ms. Bear's problem is. I'm gonna acknowledge what that problem is. When I acknowledge, I'm gonna repeat it back to her. Number one, so she knows that I respect what she had to say. Right. Number two, so I can process what's going on again, and then I can explore and respond. Okay. So Ms. Bev is calling in. This is Jonathan with National Integrated Services. How may I help you, please?
Hi, John. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So the reason that I'm calling in today is I'm going to have to actually cancel my home warranty right now, unfortunately.
Oh, I understand, ma'am. I'm very sorry to hear that. May I ask why you're looking into canceling your home warranty?
Yeah, well, I'm actually in between jobs right now. I just actually got laid off recently, and I really just can't afford it right now.
Oh, ma'am, I'm very, very sorry to hear that about the layoff. That's very, very unfortunate. What I can do as you go through the process of seeing what's next, we do have a program set up where you can skip a month or two of payments, and then you can still keep the insurance. We would just push the payments to the end of the term. That could be a good option for you because having home insurance and being able to get things fixed as it happened, and I understand a very troubling situation for you right now, but at the end of the day, you just never know what could happen at home. So we could push those payments to the end. You could skip a couple of months. You could still keep your home warranty. How's that sound?
Wow, that's really very generous, because I've had friends in the same position, and they didn't get offered that. So yeah, I that sounds wonderful to me. That'll help a
Excellent.
lot.
Excellent, ma'am. Now I'm going to send you this contract in the via email. Just let me verify. I have your email as bev@gmail.com. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yep, that's it.
Excellent, ma'am. So I'll send this out to you. All you have to do is respond to the email, put your signature in there, and we'll be good to go. Is there anything else that I can help you out with, ma'am?
No, you just that took a load off. I know I really regretted trying to cancel that because I know it's important. So I wasn't expecting this. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, ma'am. Definitely very sorry about what's going on with you, and 100% we're here to help you. And I'm glad I could help you. I'm glad this is an option for you. Thank you for being a loyal customer. And if you ever need us again, please just call back. My name's Jonathan. If you need to ask for me, I'm here Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30.
Awesome. Thank you. I
Excellent.
appreciate it.
Excellent. Good luck to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. So a couple of things about the call, right? So Miss Bev threw me a curveball, right? She's talking home insurance, right? Warranty stuff. So I'm repeating back. Number one, I'm showing empathy. In
Mhm.
the day and age that we live in with COVID and everything, there's a lot of individuals, just due to businesses, right? Changes in business. Individuals are going through a lot right now. You need to be nice to people. Like at the end of the day, we need to definitely show empathy, and we need to be able to show people that we care and really genuinely care, right? So I'm glad I could come up with something to help Ms. Bev feel better about our organization. Here's the key. Ms. Bev, I'm gonna ask you a question. After
Mhm.
that interaction, if you went online and you went to National Integrated Services, to their Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or whatever page, do you think that you be given a good review of them, or maybe Yelp or Google review? What type of review would you be given of that organization?
Well, I'd seriously give it like 5 stars. Seriously. I mean, the empathy there, stating that you're willing to help and it's important to keep the home warranty, and you were interested. And I will let you in on something. I had that situation, and that's the reason why I brought this up. But the company that I had did not offer me what you offered me. So if this was a real life situation, for sure, I would be on there giving that 5 star review.
And companies, if you're listening, just think about this. So this is an individual, a professional that's very talented. So if she's going through something with a layoff or something unfortunate, unplanned, all of a sudden unexpected, she's going to bounce back. She's not someone that's not going to bounce back, because she's super talented, super motivated. She has that urgency. So if you're a company watching, maybe take some notes, right? Take some notes, push it to the back, and make your customer happy. Make your brand have loyalty from individuals that are going through things, because everyone knows we're going through something, and revenue is really, really important. But at the end of the day, your brand and loyalty is just as important. So that's excellent, Ms. Bev. And I hope that we can get out there and insurance companies can see that, hey, push it to the end, keep your
Mhm.
customers happy, because you got to have everything is not always about making the most money or the revenue. You need to be fair to people. So if you're a CEO of Allstate or something like that, take notes, because that's really important to be able to work with your customers and make sure they're happy, because everybody goes through something at some
Mhm.
time, and it goes a long way with customer loyalty. All right. So this time I want to do this, Ms. Bev. I want to go through a call where we're in an education space, and we're just going to do Q and T, Q and T, right? So
Mhm.
I'm going to say National Integrated Services University, and I'm going to try to get you either transferred over, or I'm going to get you, let me send you some information, and then you give me whatever objection that you have, and I'm going to be an outbound call. Let's do an outbound call where I'm calling you, and you give me whatever you got, and I'll figure it out from there. All right.
Sounds good.
All right. So I'm ring ring.
Hello.
Hi, this is Jonathan calling from National Integrated Services University. May I please speak with Bev?
Yeah, this is her. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. And just so you know, all of our calls are recorded for quality assurance. Ms. Bev, I'm following up with you regarding your interest in our cybersecurity degree.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I'm really interested in that anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I see a request for information. Were you considering it in the future? And if so, what changed?
Uh, I mean, I'm still interested. I still want to get some education, but a degree right now, I don't think I can commit to the time for that. It's I think it's like 3 or 4 years, and I'm kind of I need to get some skills quickly. So, I was thinking more lines of like maybe like a year or 2 years.
Excellent, ma'am. And I understand exactly where you're coming from. That is a long-term time commitment, 2 to 3 years. Now, keep in mind, transfer credits will always be in play if you have them. But secondary, maybe primarily, we have certificate options where you could get into a program, get in and out a lot faster. The great thing about the certificates is that you get to take the core classes. You don't have any of the kind of like fluff of the degree with like the math and calculus and all
Mhm.
that kind of stuff, and you can go directly into cybersecurity classes. What I'll do is I'll send you some information about our certificates. You can look them over, and then you can let me know in the future if you feel like it's something that you'd be interested in. I just need to verify the email address that I have on file for you is bev@gmail.com. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yep, that's it.
Excellent, ma'am. So I'll get this out to you. My name's Jonathan. I'll be working with you. Just look it over. Like, take a look at the different classes. If you have questions about the classes, reach out, and then we can kind of go from there. And I'll follow up with you in the future.
Yeah, that sounds good. That actually sounds that's a little bit, something I could do probably at now. So, and then maybe if I want to, have time in the future, I can use those credits and transfer over into the degree. That sounds
Excellent.
good. I'll be interested to look at that.
Excellent, ma'am. I'll get that out to your email. And again, if you have any questions, reply to the email. My contact information is in the email. I'm an open book. We just want to help support you as best as possible. Thanks for picking up and have a good day. I'll have this to your email in about 10 minutes.
Sounds good. Thank you, John.
Excellent, ma'am. Thank you. So now, team, when we went through this call, Ms. Bev and I have worked in this space before, so it's kind of like second nature for us to have these type of
Mhm,
calls.
mhm,
But just kind of keep in mind what she gave me at first is that she wasn't interested. I could say, I understand you're not interested. What I can do is that, but that's very at the surface level. I didn't get to what the real problem was, right? I'm sorry you're not interested. May I ask what changed? That question right there, open-ended question, got me to the point where Miss Bev told me what changed. I don't feel like I have enough time for a degree. She requested information about a degree. She said it would take too long. Now I understand you're not, that time commitment is a bit much. I'm repeating it back. I listened to Miss Bev. I'm coming up, I'm exploring options in my head. Now I'm going to respond with the best option. Number one, potentially transfer credits. Number two, primarily really the certificate options, right? They take a lot longer. You get the core classes. And then I didn't ask her. I just said, hey, let me send you some information. You look it over. I'll follow it up in the future. Now I'm working with Ms. Bev. I was very respectful, but I was also assumptive, right? What
mhm.
I will do, I'll get this out to you. You look it over. I'll follow up in the future. And Ms. Bev was with it. Did you ever feel any pressure, salesy at all, Ms. Bev?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Excellent. Excellent. So it's all about empathy. It's all about listening and then being assumptive, right? I understand what's going on. You are not interested. Okay, tell me a little bit about what changed your mind. Oh, time commitment. Oh, I understand completely. It's the time commitment. I'm repeating it back because I heard what you said. I respect what you said. And I'm thinking about, okay, what's going to help her with the time commitment? What things do I need to mention to her that's going to take some time off her plate so she can finish faster and meet her career goals? And that's why I was able to come up with the certificate option. So this was excellent, Miss Bev. Let's see what we got next here. Summary. So LAER is essential for sales, customer service interactions, and tech support, right? You'll get in situations in tech support where you need to use LAER, and empathy is a big part of the process. Anything that you're doing that's related to sales, you definitely need to show empathy to people. You need to have good energy, and you need to respect the customer, because the customer, again, is always first. When you're with the organization, you could be with the company, or maybe it's your company, or you're just providing a service. You have to understand the interaction that you have now is going to increase the likelihood of an interaction in the future. So if I have a bad interaction with Miss Bev and I'm rude to her, or I don't take her serious, or she doesn't feel good about my company, Miss Bev, are you going to come back to us again for the next time you need service?
No, and I will probably tell my friends and family to not go with whoever that is as well.
They're terrible. Yeah, don't mess with them. They terrible. Don't deal
Yeah.
with them, right? And at the end of the day, the next thing we know, National Integrated Service is shutting down, and we don't have any customers, right? So at the end of the day, it's really important to put your customer first. Again, if you're interested in this type of training, please subscribe to the channel. National Integrated Services. The website is NISHUB, so nishhub.com. If you request information or if you have questions, we got a blog set up. It's all there for you. We also have thebigfitness.com. Whatever it is, if you have questions or anything about our channel that's related to sales, tech support, customer service, we are your one-stop shop. Stop there, and we will go stop recording.